Welcome back to the Keep On Growing podcast, and it's been a while, right? I think it's been about a month. If you guys have noticed, I've been bringing the towers back out, so that's good news, right? We're going to be getting back into the towers. People love that, and if that's what's going to help people grow, I'm going to show that to people because I want to help people. If I'm out there just showing people stuff that they don't want, nobody's going to go grow their own food, right? So I've got to show people what they want, and that seems to attract a lot of people, and they really enjoy it. So I'm going to get back into that because the permaculture and the organic nutrients that I'm working on for ours, I'm going to kind of do that behind the scenes. I'm going to do kind of like Willy Wonka and just go back and shut the doors to the factory and do it and not really share it because I'm getting inundated with questions every time I put something out because I'm not doing stuff like the normal, gardeners do. Every time I do something, either people are always criticizing me about the way I'm doing it and telling me you have to do this or you have to do that just because they've seen 2 or 3 other people doing it. So I'm trying to do something different. And I was used to, when I started my other channel, I was experimenting and I came up with like the downspouts and the continuous harvest system and all that. I was living on a 300-acre farm. We were farmhands. The owners would go away for like a month and we would just take care of everything. We were on a 300-acre ranch and it was gated, so there was no neighbors for like a mile. We couldn't see anybody else, and I was kind of isolated, and I got to learn how to grow, and all my thoughts were just kind of clear, and just, I had a place to just keep my mind clear and just keep flowing, and something didn't work. I tried something different, and I wasn't on social media, so I didn't have a whole lot of that noise, right? And now it's when I show something, because I want to share with people, all of a sudden, and I can't, and people go, oh, just ignore people, don't read comments and this and that. But I feel like I'm missing people if I don't read the comments. So I go through them all, and it's just kind of hard to ignore because some of the things that people say, I don't want them discouraging other people from growing, or like, oh, that's too hard, or you're lying, it's expensive and it's way too difficult and it uses too much water and blah, 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 right? So I'm always addressing all of these. And whenever I pop in something new, like the stuff I'm experimenting with, and if I don't do it exactly like this person did it or exactly like this person did it, then these people are like emailing me and DMing me, and you can't do that, and you need to do this, and even some people are trying to help, and I love that too. So people are trying to be helpful, but it's a lot of noise right now. So when I'm trying to figure something out and go in a certain direction that I've kind of already got figured out which way I want to try, it's all these voices. It's kind of like when you're growing up and you keep hearing, these little voices behind you. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this, right? So I'm trying to block that out and stay focused. And it's getting kind of tough. So the new stuff that I'm doing, I'm going to work on that and not really share too much. I might show a little bit because, like I said, I want some other people to try it too. But I don't want to just keep putting stuff out and having to explain myself in every video what's going on, why I'm not doing things a certain way, why I'm doing this, why I won't do that. So I'm still working on all of that, and I've got a big problem that I kind of have to fix, and that's why we're bringing the towers back out. And I'm not going to go into that. I didn't want to make like a video like, the drama, like I destroyed my garden and, all the clickbait thumbnails and everything. I just want to let you guys know what's happening, and it has something to do with the way I started. It's kind of my fault because I was in a rush, and it has to do with hay that I put down as mulch and graze on. So if some of you all are familiar with that, then you kind of know what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to really go into that, but I've got to fix that before I can move on. So me and Keela are going to move. Luckily, I didn't do it on my entire backyard. I did it in a certain spot, but it was the main spot we were going to use. So now we've got to rearrange things. And while I'm doing that, like I said, I'm going to be doing the experiments, not sharing too much of that. I'm just going to do it. If I figure something out, I'll come out and tell people. But the towers, we're going to go ahead and the part that's in question, that's a fantastic thing about the hydroponics and in containers and stuff like this, right? That if there is a problem with the soil, maybe you've got sandy soil like me, or it's too much clay, and it's going to take too much stuff to bring in compost or other soil or amend it, and maybe you don't want to till, maybe you don't want to do all these different things, that you can just go find a container, get some nutrients, put the nutrients in, and you can grow your own food. So that's what's going to go on. And so it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing for me, because now I made a little mistake, a big mistake really, and I've got to kind of correct it. And normally that entire spot, which is half my backyard, and you guys know I don't have a huge backyard, it's less than 800 square feet, tiny little yard. So half of it is like not usable right now. I've got to do something, and the bad thing is that some say that it can get changed up in 30 days or 60 days, and some say that it could take a couple of years. So I've really got to look into this and figure out what I'm going to do. And the good thing is that in the meantime, instead of all of a sudden freaking out and like this whole thing that I had planned, I can't really do it right now, and I'm just, stuck and throw my hands up and say I'm not gardening anymore. I can go over, as long as I got a little space somewhere, and I can do a bunch of these, or like what I'm going to do is set up a bunch of the towers, because now I can go vertical, because I'm still using part of my space for the permaculture, the stuff we're doing, but that big space that was going to be used for all of it, like the food forest, and it's not going to be available anymore. Now I've got a chunk of it that I'm going to be working on, so I'm going to have to find little spots like up against the wall, so we can go vertical up against the wall, right, with the ladder system. I've got a little tiny porch outside my back door. I can stick towers over there, so I can find the towers wherever I can find 1 square foot that I'm not using somewhere, and I get enough sunlight and all the stuff we've talked about. I can put it up, put a tower up. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to show you that. We'll have those around the yard, and that seems to help people. Most of them are going to be off-grid, because that's what I like to do, cheap and easy. We're going to go over all that. So you guys who are new to this channel, lots of fantastic stuff coming. I'm going to go through building these step by step too as I do them. I'm going to go through us growing our microgreens. Look at this. Radish microgreens. I'm going to go through us growing microgreens, using those. I'm going to get transplants, do that. I'm also going to build a few of them, maybe 1 or 2, with the pump, because there still are a lot of people that are interested in that. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Maybe I'll make some modifications, because since I did the first one with the orange Home Depot buckets, I haven't done it again, because I did the off-grid ones, the red, white, and blue, right? Our Victory Garden. And I love that. And it worked. And you guys saw the peppers and tomatoes and the basil and all the leafy greens and all the different kales and everything. You guys have seen that over the years. It works. So I love doing that. So that's going to be the bulk of the stuff. I want to teach people that, because it's easy. If you can go get a 5-gallon bucket somewhere like this, right? And you can just drill some holes in it, you're all set. All you need is some nutrients, and then you can grow food like I was showing you. So that's what I want to show people. That's what gets me excited. Some people are still wanting to do the one with the pump and that, because they see the commercial ones. I'm going to show them how to build one. I'm going to do them a couple different ways. Maybe fix a couple of things that didn't really work too good in my initial one. But for the most part, I don't even use the pump. I did that one I think a year ago. And ever since that, I did 2 crops in that. And that was it. Once I tried this one here with just 1 row and just filling up your nutrients and just doing that, and this worked, and it worked over and over and over again. You guys seen all the stuff over the years. I'm like, why would I even get a pump? Why should I go get a pump and plumbing and sprinkler heads and worry about it leaking out somewhere and the breaker going off and everything dying, when I can have a tower full of crap key setups like this and grow tons of food? So that's what we're going to be doing. Like I said, we'll go through the whole thing. You guys, I'm going to do a video on this, but these are radish, purple radish. I got it from True Leaf Market, and these things are awesome. If you're new to growing microgreens, grow radish, because pak choi, lettuce, broccoli, all the greens, they're good for you. They don't have much flavor, not a whole lot of flavor. Stuff like this is spicy. If you like radish, believe it or not, this microgreen tastes just like a radish, and you don't have to sit there and gnaw on it like a big crunchy bit, unless you like that. You can cut these and toss those in your salad and sandwiches and that. You put this on your friend's salad and they don't see a big crunchy radish, but they get the flavor and they're going to wonder what's going on. It's these little microgreens. They're easy to grow. This one was started on the 14th. Today's the 20th, so 6 days. Look at that, 6 days, and those are ready to go. And you can just cut those. You can let them go a little longer, let those leaves get just a tiny bit bigger, but these are fantastic just like that, and they were easy. The off-grid, the self-watering container, I put them in there, covered it up, 3 days, didn't even touch them, didn't do anything, popped the lid off, Another couple days to fill this up once and let it sit under the lights, the grow lights, and that's it. That's how easy it is. So that's what I want to show people. That's what we're going to be doing. Lots of fantastic stuff. I can't wait for fall. If you guys can tell, I'm a little excited right now, is because it's like 87 degrees outside, and when we've been up around 100 for like weeks and weeks and weeks, all of a sudden I was outside, and even though 87 is a little warm, it felt like spring to me. So I'm like thinking, fall's right around the corner, even though I know we're going to get up over 90 again next week. But just the thought that we're not up near 100 and it's time to start planning our stuff and getting stuff ready, I am stoked. So thank you all. I am humbled by the amount of people that come to this channel who are saying they're growing their own food, the amount of people that are sharing with other people, the people that get in the comments and help each other out. It's just a fantastic community, and I couldn't ask for more. You guys live to inspire, keep on growing, be the change. I'll catch you next time.